When the Trash Man Knocks is a horror film from 2023. This is written and directed by Christopher Wesley Moore, and we have a cast including Cheryl Abernathy, Allie Bennett, Derek Robert Hull Bond, and various others. And the performances are quite good. The narrative I quite liked. We are told early on in the film that a killer has escaped from a facility where they're being held, and it's the day before Thanksgiving, and this individual is, of course, the Trash Man, which I have to say is a pretty cool name. I quite like the character name, and obviously with this killer escaped, is he going after anybody? Is anybody's life in danger? Well, obviously the answer to that is yes, otherwise we wouldn't have much of a film. I'm not going to say any more than that about the specifics, though, or the characters, but in general, I'd say there was a lot of suspense. It always felt like there was something right around the corner. Sometimes that suspense delivered, sometimes it didn't. So it's not the strongest narrative, but it's not that it has nothing to offer. There are definitely some pretty good moments and some good bits of suspense. I'd say the bits in between the suspense are a little dull, but I quite liked the characters. So maybe not every character, but for the most part, the characters were quite likable. So even when the narrative maybe could have had a bit more to offer, the characters were still interesting enough that generally it was a pleasant experience. We have some really good music. I really liked the music in this. I thought it was very effective. Visually, it's pretty well done. The camera work's good. The lighting's absolutely fine, which is something I'm always happy to praise in a horror film, because I feel like a lot of them just turn down the lights thinking darkness equals suspense and eeriness, and often it doesn't work, and there's not really any of that in this film. So in general, I'd say When the Trash Man Knocks was a pretty good experience. It's a nice idea. I'd say it's reasonably well executed. The pacing's not too bad. There are definitely some really good suspenseful moments. There are some bits that are maybe not the strongest, but in general, I'd say it's quite an easy watch as well. So if you're in the mood for a horror with some good suspense, but you don't want anything that's overly complicated, you're just wanting something that's a little bit more relaxing, then, I don't know if relaxing is the right word there, but not as intense, then When the Trash Man Knocks might be a good one to go with. I think the concept of the Trash Man is pretty good. In general, the narrative's not badly executed. And if you're looking for a horror film with some good suspense, but nothing that requires too much concentration, then I'd say When the Trash Man Knocks might be a good one to go with.